Today on the Great White Shark Experience podcast, we have Lacey, head field specialist for oceans research in Mossel Bay, South Africa. Lacey has moved back to South Africa after finishing her master's degree in marine ecosystems and society. Though she was based at the University of Miami, her research focused on the predator-prey behavioural interactions between great white sharks and Cape fur seals in Plettenberg Bay. Today we talk about how she became obsessed with the shark world through the legendary Chris Fallows, along with some fascinating tales of her adventures so far.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers. Welcome, Lacey. How's it going?
Oh, it's lekker.
It's good.
Now
It's good to have you on the podcast.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. This is my podcast debut, don't you know?
Have you never done one before?
No, you're the first one brave enough to get this chatterbox in front of a microphone.
I mean, to be fair, this is the first week of filming podcast, so I'm pretty fresh out the gates on this one.
I mean, I didn't want to say anything, little greenhorn, but you're wearing it well.
I mean, I've got a beer in my hand.
You haven't even spilled it from the hand tremors. I'm so proud.
I haven't, but it's coming. The last one I did with Eric. Put my glass down. First few seconds, and it just foamed up straight out the bottom. I was like, "Yep."
I didn't know that was a thing for the longest time. I was like, "Why does this always happen to me?"
Neither did I. And then, I need a bloody flake to put.
Do that hand motion one more time for the food
nope.
for the fans.
Nope. I see what she's doing here. Nah.
I saw this joke. It was somebody did it on a talk show, and you have a redhead, a blonde, and a brunette in your hand, little ones.
Okay.
So put them in your hand.
Okay, I've got.
Do you see where this is going?
I think so.
So
I've got a redhead, a blonde, and a brunette.
Yeah. So pick up the blonde and put it close to your ear.
Okay, that's the blonde.
Does that sound like the first time you ever made love?
No.
Yes or no? Put it back. Pick up the brunette.
Okay.
Does it sound like the first time?
No.
Put it back. How about the redhead?
Redhead.
First time you ever made love?
No.
No. Put them back. All right. Now close your hand. Shake them up.
I actually didn't see that coming. I thought there was a different ending to that.
Yeah,
fair play,
buddy.
that's
Now is that the first time ever?
And here we are, the R-rated podcast.
Scene.
It's R-rated. Isn't it?
I don't know.
What's
PG-13? Are you gonna make it X-rated? Don't show some
X-rated.
claspers.
Well, there's plenty of claspers on here. I should have actually blurred those out just for.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious for the nerds.
Imagine if I get a YouTube restriction on here
Except
because of claspers.
You only have one picture.
Of what?
Where you could potentially see shark genitalia.
Oh, we'll have to change that.
Oh no. We got the skate picture today. I have actually a cut from an endangered skate penis on my finger.
Found a dead skate on Fisherman's
skate.
Rock today.
Yes, we did.
And what happened to it?
No idea.
And you cut yourself?
Yeah, on the clasper. So I've got
dead shark. You got cut by a dead shark.
I got cut by a skate's penis, Mark. Well, how many people can say that?
Don't hear that every day.
An endangered skate penis. There you go. They're sharp, ladies. They're sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the other. Actually, you'll see here when we got picked the dead shark up and carried it over the beach. Were you there?
I was.
You were.
Oh yeah.
Well, the next day we had to move that shark, and stupidly I thought, well, there's a good leverage point just under the front jaw here.
What did you?
Yeah,
do?
grab the teeth.
Mark, did you know that sharks have sharp teeth?
Well, apparently so.
Okay, turn around.
There should be a warning on these things.
Look, there's a picture.
Yeah.
That's your warning. That's your warning.
This was the dead one. This was the dead one that we picked up.
I know.
That's
I recognize
exactly where
that
I
one.
lifted, right under the teeth. And
the
worst part was Conrad was stood looking at me, watching me do it as I did it. Didn't stop me, and then I was kind of just like,
well,
I
that can't be surprising.
Yeah.
Knowing this kooky crew, that's not surprising in the
I could
slightest.
just hook under the gums there, but no. There's sharks.
Turns out our hands are wimpy.
Apparently so. Can you imagine though if you actually ever, unfortunately, God forbid, did get by a white shark? There'd be nothing left, would there?
There might be.
Like what?
Some flesh and bone.
It'd just be just a razor straight through.
Yeah, but then it's piercing, unless they shook their head and then the serrations on the side will rip up the flesh. Yeah. But otherwise, you
just straight through.
I mean, I have seen bite pictures. Rodney Fox is the survivor of one of the most infamous white shark bites of all time. There's a lot of him left.
Did he get bitten?
Yeah, that's how I got into. That's one of the original shark attack stories that got little nerdy Lacey into it reading her book. Rodney Fox.
Knew that.
He's the inventor of the cage.
Well, I knew he was the.
That's because he was a spearfishing champion, and then you see the stitches. It was 4 or 5 hours of surgery, over 400, almost 500 stitches, and it's the whole bite is his entire torso, up his thigh, hands. Yeah,
mad.
It's a gnarly survival story, and then he's like, I want to understand more about these mysterious creatures, and created the first ever shark cage.
The first ever shark cage?
He is the original guy attributed with the first ever shark diving cage.
That's insane. And still where they are now in Port.
It's the longest running cage diving company is Rodney Fox's company.
That's incredible. Mm-hmm. I never knew that.
You
learn something new every day.
Oh my God, Jinx, you owe me a beer.
Cheers.
Thank you for this one that you bought today.
There we go. Fun story for the day.
Yeah, well, I got so many fun stories.
Shoot. What's your craziest story?
Pick an animal or a person.
Pick an animal or a person.
Yeah, would you want a crazy human story or crazy animal story? Those are very different.
Yeah, let's go crazy animal first.
Okay, I don't really have that many. I was hoping you could say people.
Let's go crazy people. I'll let you vote.
Shit. Okay, which level of crazy are we trying to go? That I've witnessed, that I've heard of people that I know? Oh boy.
Go on.
Well, this is just like sums up Australians.
You've got my morbid curiosity going.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I really dangled a treat, didn't I?
Yeah.
I fucked up.
I want to see where this goes now. We're down a dark path.
We'll start light with just a caricature of Australian craziness. Where a friend of mine, they used to jump off this like rusty oil rig for fun called oilies.
Okay.
How about that?
Oilies.
Yeah. And then they're like, jump off this side, not that side, because it's like shallow rocks and deadly and you'll die.
Yeah.
So this one guy somehow slips and fucks up. There's like a tiny window of safe jumping area. Fucks up, breaks his back or his neck in a head brace for forever. And then next time I see him, he's like climbing on walls, jumping off the same oil rig. Like,
jeez.
Yeah, I was like, that's...
Yeah, Australians are a different breed. They're not all that.
No, but South Africans are not far off of that.
Yeah, I think they came from the same, yeah, there's definitely...
I need to write down more of Chris's stories, because his are the most insane, where I'm just sitting there like, and you guys didn't die?
Yeah, you've done a lot of work with Chris Fallows over the years.
I have. He is basically my OG mentor. And
he's one of the most fascinating people, especially for someone to, like you say, discover breaching sharks, like sharks that jump out of the water.
Not just jump, they fly.
They do. And there's those ones that get a little hang time as well. They go out like 40 kilometres an hour or whatever, and then they're just floating. And you're like,
how are you floating?
It's like 3/4 of a ton of animal that's just levitating.
That'd be amazing.
So what have you done with Chris over the years?
Well, the very first time I ever met him in person was in the Mall of America in Minnesota.
In the Mall of America?
In Minnesota. And I just found this out on the film shoot, or this weekend in Infanta, because they were at the film shoot. So I found this out on, Saturday, that apparently the day that Chris went to give that talk, there's, an aquarium in the Mall of America. Okay. And all of my extended family on my mom's side's from Minnesota. So we'd go there, twice a year, visit my grandparents. Grandma Bean, bless that woman, she found out that Chris was giving a talk. I was nerdily obsessed at that point already. And so she's like, Lacey should go. You guys should go hear the talk. So I remember my mom asking me, Lacey, do you want to go? And I almost was kind of lazy and chickened out. I was like, I have a headache. I was like, nah, just go. No. So we went. I have very little recollection of my situational awareness has taken a very long time to grow. That's a shout out for the family, Dad and Katie. And so I remember being like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I got a poster sign, like one of those. It's just a different shark picture, but it's the same thing. That was one of the options that day. Yeah. And got a poster sign that says, hopefully see you in Africa one day. And I remember looking at it being like, this is my number one mission. I must go here.
He's told me I must now.
I was like, I have to make this come true. And I remember even at that time thinking, well, the great white sharks didn't always used to be in False Bay, so they're probably not always going to be there. I got to go before they're gone. Yeah. Premonition? I think yes, because this was
nailed it.
2008, 2006, 2008. But apparently upstairs in the Mall of America, Mariah Carey was there doing some whatever shit. And so Chris was laughing. He's like, we walk in and everybody's loud and screaming for Mariah Carey upstairs. And he goes downstairs and there's 30, 40 people for his talk. And I'm like, I am 28 years old and 12-year-old Lacey had no clue
I was going to say,
happening.
You picked the right talk.
I did. What would a Mariah Carey concert have gotten me? I'd be sick of All I Want for Christmas Is You by now.
Exactly. There you go.
No, but it really is a Christmas pop.
I mean, it is a great one, but there's better jams out there. I do love it. It does signal Christmas.
Are you the a fan of the NSYNC Christmas one? Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
I don't think I know that.
Yeah, you do.
Do I?
Yeah.
Maybe I do.
It's Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. It sounds like an NSYNC song. Any boy band from the 2000s could do it.
Maybe. I don't know. This sounds rogue.
Sounds like we have to have a Christmas party and find out.
Definitely, yeah.
There's also
I don't know. All Christmas songs have just left my mind now.
What?
I was just like, I can hear it. Couldn't tell you what it is.
Oh my gosh, she's got stage fright. No, there's a Britney Spears Christmas song that I didn't know until like high school. Well, it was the era of burned CDs still, however old I was when we still burned CDs. Mm-hmm. And I still hear it. You know when you hear songs from a CD or a burned CD and you like anticipate the next one that was on that CD?
You know what you put on there.
Exactly. So this, I don't actually have any idea what else was on this besides Christmas stuff, but there was so much scratching on the CD that I still hear the Britney Spears song where the scratches should show up. And I'm like, this isn't the right version.
This is an edited version.
What? This is so
Sounds
clean.
too polished.
I know exactly where they all show up.
Yeah.
My sister and I learned that song with the scratches in it.
Back in the days of LimeWire.
Oh my God.
Just giving your computer an STD for
fucked
no reasons.
Up my computer for life. And I think my backup hard drive, which has fucked up every computer I've plugged it into.
Yeah. An MSN, did you have that?
I was AOL.
Oh, were you? You were pre-MSN.
Oh, it's pre-MSN, and I never switched. I was an AOL girl till Gmail.
Jeez. Or did you come with a BlackBerry and had that BB?
I had a BlackBerry for a hot second, and I would give every phone I've had up to go back to a flip phone.
Is it? Would you? Yeah? You go back to... BlackBerries weren't flip phones, were they?
I was like the first, besides the ones that like flipped into little keyboards, like the NV3 or whatever the was.
Motorola Razr things. The little clam.
Oh, yeah.
What did you have?
It was an NV3. It was my best phone. Thank you, Verizon. I loved that one.
Okay.
It had like the buttons on the front and then a little keyboard on the side. I just want to press 7 4 times for the letter P, okay?
Yeah, never had a flip phone.
I'm more accurate. What?
Well, I had a Nokia 3310 for like... that never
Could
died.
still use it.
Probably still works now.
Where's the charger? That's all you need.
Just played Snake whole time. I was having a great time.
Snake was such a legendary game.
Honestly, it was the best.
Brick stresses me out to this day.
If they ever brought that back on a phone, Nokia would sell out instantly.
I played a Neopets version of Snake. I was really good at it. It was like you just got all these different little egg bonuses.
Okay.
It got really fast. Did you ever play Neopets?
No.
I have like 800 accounts. I forgot the password.
I feel like you're reliving your childhood right now.
I
like
am.
I need to get back to that.
So fun. Every once in a blue moon, I'm like, can I do this? Can I play these like 3 games? Brick Breaker? Yeah. Okay, cool.
And then Snake 2 came out and it wasn't the same.
Well, how can you make that 2?
Oh, there was. They did. They tried.
Why?
It didn't work.
The game they saw got conquered.
They should have left it. And that's when Nokia just was on it.
But before we pivot too hard, because I forgot about it, what was I want to not forget, your original MSN screen name?
Oh, it wasn't anything crazy.
Darn. Nor was mine. I was hoping yours would be better.
No, I wish it did, because like some people had awesome ones. Like
my Gmail was kind of embarrassing, but I can't go on the internet.
Why?
I'll tell you when we stop recording. I don't want to get traced back to me.
It should be. This is what this podcast is all about.
Because you can't.
It's like sinking your future self from any career opportunities. That's what this is about.
I will sink this ship with many other things, but that piece of
ship.
guano is not in it. I'll tell you when the camera stops recording. If I told you the screen name, you wouldn't put together, like, you wouldn't be able to trace back the reason why.
Oh.
But we're just going to leave it at that.
Okay. Cryptic. I like it.
It's not that bad, actually. It's just stupid. Think of like a 12-year-old awkward tweenage girl. I'm not that different.
Tweenage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love those teenagers.
Ew.
Oh, God, that's something weird.
What did you say about sinking your sinking ship on the podcast?
No future opportunities here.
Just killed all your career prospects.
Yep. And possibly found myself a new home.
Yeah, I believe that's called Rikers.
Yep.
Whatever the version of that is in
Sign your name here.
This is to sign away your life. This is to sign away your soul. You can't sign away morals. You never had them.
Yeah, they went a long time ago.
Mm.
But yeah.
Yeah, they must be lost in the garbage patch of the ocean.
So then after your massive talk that changed your life with Chris Fallows, you then ended up coming out.
And had a life-changing day on the water with Chris and Monique Fallows.
Yeah.
Still has the second highest number. That day it was the record highest number of natural predations that they ever saw in one trip.
In Mossel Bay?
Mossel Bay. Still.
And how many was there?
42.
42 predations.
Natural predations.
No decoys, no
I remember
bait.
seeing 3 go at once. I missed some of the most amazing ones because I was 14. And there were people standing in front of me on the top deck. But I watched 3 happening at one time.
That's like the definition of a bloodbath.
Yeah.
The literal definition.
I had no idea.
43 sharks.
You know when you like
seals.
don't have any other experience, so you don't have like
anything
a way to sink it in. Yeah. But my debit card, you can put your own picture on it. It's a zoomed in picture of a white shark fin I took on that trip. It's my debit card.
And they never questioned that.
I don't know.
Whose is this? Oh, the picture is a fin.
It's a fin. No, I did that on every once in a while it's like, that's cool. I'm like, I took that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if you see the actual picture though, it's like
43 predations in False Bay.
42. Well, it might be 39 because I guess they say the record is like 42. And I was like, oh, I thought we had 42, so it might be 39. It's the second highest because they broke it in 2012.
Yeah. Even so, that's an incredible. It's like popcorn.
It was like popcorn. I was a chicken in the cage. Can you believe it?
You were in the cage?
Yeah, I went in with my sister, and I was really freaked out. And it was just when they had their 2-person cage.
Okay.
And they put a weight belt on me. And when I was 14, I'm not a big lady, but I was like a third of the size that I am now. I was a writ of a wisp. Yeah, and I was dropping. And I was a really big, intense swimmer at the time. But I was a very sensitive soul who got very easily overwhelmed. So the mask covering my nose also was like a lot. And then I like couldn't stay above the surface of the water. And it was like a shit viz day. So the shark was like right there. But underwater, I couldn't see shit. And I was like, I'm scared. I want to get out. Yeah. And then by the end of it, I wanted to get in again. And we ran out of time. But my dad got in with like the biggest shark we had at the boat that day.
Does Chris remember you from back then? He does?
Yeah.
He remembers you coming out?
Because I think my mom made a big stink about making sure that, because she wasn't on the trip, that my lunch was nut-free.
Okay.
And I think that was honestly what cemented them in my brain.
I definitely think that is a good giveaway, isn't it?
Yeah, thank you, Mom.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grandma. Thank you, Grandpa. Thank
and
you,
here you are.
And
the irony is you haven't seen a white shark yet.
Well.
In Mossel Bay.
Yes, I have.
Have you?
July.
Oh.
And,
yes,
and into
we did
August.
Have a brief. Yeah, we
and the dead one on the beach, and 10 seconds of one after that dead one on the beach.
Yeah, we did have a brief. Sorry, I had it in my head that you hadn't seen one yet. Or you haven't seen one since they've been back.
Yeah, I saw 10 seconds of one that swam under our anchor line. We went to your way, and then you had a bunch of sharks.
And then it disappeared.
Because you picked up off all of our chum effort. You're welcome.
Sorry, yeah, no.
I know. I mean, it basically is like I haven't seen it since they left.
Feels like we haven't seen them in a long while.
My children. But we did get in a pool of hammerheads twice, and I'm like, I'm not sad about that.
When was that?
October, because Trevor was here.
You got in with them?
No, I wish. But we were sea fishing, and we were surrounded by smooth hammies.
I haven't, since that particular week,
I
haven't seen too many since then.
Yeah,
but they should be moving back in now.
I hope so. You know that the day that one swims in Pebbles, when you said we're going to swim with one, so the day after I leave.
Well, it'd be the day I leave, so I won't either.
Oh, good. God, I can't be alone in the FOMO. Misery loves company, after all.
I mean, I'm the worst. Look, literally the day I left earlier in the year, the white sharks came back. And then the day I came back, the orcas turned up. And I guarantee the day I leave this time, the sharks are going to come back.
Mark! I should have taken the December 13th ticket.
You should.
Oh my God.
You never go before
No,
me.
honestly, the only organism I love in the planet more than sharks is my dog.
Understandable. That's the one thing I can definitely relate to. That's the one thing I struggle with the most. Is you can talk to your family and you can talk to your friends. You can do like FaceTimes and all that sort of stuff. You can't talk to your dog.
Can't.
They don't really understand.
No, even if they hear
Sometimes
your voice.
they hear your voice, but they're just like...
They're like, I don't smell you, so it must be a lie.
Yeah. But yeah.
That's the one thing you can relate to.
Yeah.
Can't relate to anything else.
I mean, like, you miss your family, don't you? But like, I'd like to talk to them, and I'm good with that.
Sorry. You guys know this, though. So it's not a secret.
Good, yeah.
Sorry, I function really well at a distance.
Yeah, great. Once every now and then, FaceTime, cheeky FaceTime here and there. And
I forget. Sometimes they have to check in with me and be like, shit, sorry, forgot you don't know anything that's happened in my life.
Once every 6 months is fine.
Yeah. I'm a lurker in my own family group chat is what I am.
Just voyeur. Just
I like things,
watching from a distance.
And I only comment when there's a dog post. And it's always like, oh, he's so cute. With a bunch of emojis, like the little...
Same one every time.
Yeah, that one. They should do that with the hands.
They should. Actually, there you go. You know you can submit an emoji.
Oh my
God. An emoji. Draw your own little emoji and pop it on the App Store.
Shit. I can't draw.
Oh,
but I know somebody who can. Bob, my mom's partner. He's an artiste.
Come on, Bob.
Yeah.
Time for you.
Time to shine. Submit some emojis.
There we go.
We could get some wolves. No, I think there's a wolf already. What animal emojis are not in there? Octopus. No, they have an octopus.
No orcas yet.
Good. Suck a dick, Marcus.
They're not getting in there.
Fucking sea panda bitches. You can't have what the sharks have every time.
Last time I went back, I actually went to a barbecue with one of my friends. To one of my friends, and his little boy came up to me with his little plastic orca, and it also had a bent over dorsal, and I was like, I'm going to punt this kid over the fence. I know he doesn't mean it, and I know he's being nice, but right now I just want to kick him over the fence. Do you think he's going to be good at that?
Like, I will straighten out this fucking dorsal fin. We're going to put a popsicle stick on it. This thing is going up.
Yeah.
Or cut it off. How does it like to be finned, bitch?
Yeah. Ooh. I'm just saying we could. Orcas go that way.
I didn't know I had that in me.
What's it like to be finned, bitch?
Yikes.
That's what this podcast is going to be called.
How's it like to be finned, bitch? Sponsored by Zip Ties.
Zip ties.
The official sponsor of all maritime life anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Imagine how many zip ties are at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, I can't.
Oof.
Reusable zip ties. Get your PR team a little bit better marketing.
Yeah.
What else would you use instead of a zip tie?
I don't know. There are biodegradable ones. I mean, I suppose anything you can use zip ties for, you can also use string for.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, nothing stands up against the ocean, so...
No, well, no, that's it.
Might as well just use biodegradable string.
Yeah, but you can use, like, I don't know, twine or cotton string. I don't know. Really should have done more research on this. Cable ties work so well.
I honestly just liked watching you waffle. I was having fun.
Here we are.
Like, Any more suggestions? Pa, 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 pa.
Any suggestions?
No, of material.
Oh, fuck.
I was just being cheeky.
Yeah.
Got any jokes? Mark!
What?
I learned so many good jokes with the film crew and I can't remember any of them.
All gone now.
There were so many good ones.
That's the problem with jokes, though. You can't ever retain them.
I was like, guys,
It's like a moment in history.
Yeah,
You
there were
get
a
them
lot
and
of
they're
dad
gone.
jokes, too.
No, all right.
Puns, the
And
highest
extreme
caliber of humor.
What do they say? Oh, no, sorry, that's sarcasm, isn't it? Worst form of...
Also, the official sponsor of every male Hinge profile I've ever seen. It's their favorite language.
Never been on Hinge. That's an interesting one.
Or Bumble. It's not very different.
Bumble, yeah.
Yeah. Their favorite language is sarcasm, and they always have a picture with a fish.
Oh, dead fish.
I love
That's
The
a classic
Office.
one, isn't it?
If it's not a fish, it's like a duck.
I've heard that, yeah, that's the thing.
What's the lady version?
Sorry for anybody who can't see that. It's just pouty
No,
lips.
is it really?
I mean, there's a lot of pouting fish faces on dating websites, which...
I raise you one grouper face?
Or fake eyebrows is another weak one. Those, the
Yeah.
big drawn on, like, I look
Are they
surprised
skinny
as
ones
shit
or the on
faces.
fleek eyebrows? I feel like on fleek eyebrows are ones that are done well.
Which ones are on
I
fleek?
don't know what they're colored in. I don't know.
I don't know. The big,
I got
fat,
dark
bushy ones
eyebrows. I
that
can't do
don't look real.
Oh.
Yeah. It is, yeah. No.
I can't do makeup.
No. Natural's great. Excessive makeup has become a thing, and I don't know where it came from, and I don't... Well, I think it's always been a thing, but, recently trends have changed to
I will say some makeup is really well done, though. I'm like, I don't know how you fucking do that on a face, but that's a whole different medium of artistry.
Yeah.
Whether or not you like it on the face, it's well done.
Yeah. This whole Botox thing and fillers and... no. Yeah. There's this one lady, she had the ultimate scam. So in the UK, you get, like, free healthcare. So she complained she got...
Socialist.
She got migraines, so they gave her free Botox stuff because it apparently helps with migraines.
I had a friend, my sister's friend, tried Botox for migraine help.
Well, I would sort of believe that if her face wasn't like blown up to the size of a pufferfish, like basically just. You ever seen that? You ever see like a sunfish, like a mola mola?
Yeah.
It was like the whole.
They are ugly fuckers.
Yeah.
That guy's rant on mola molas is my favorite thing I've ever read online. Have you seen it?
No.
I think I read it on the boat one time. Were you not there?
Oh, the ugliest bits of every fish in the ocean. Yeah, no, I was there actually. Recalling it. Yeah, there was every bit of. Just
It's the most
fish,
useless piece of
it's true,
fish
though.
it is.
There's nothing useful on a mola.
I had an opinion on a mola mola, and I don't remember what it was because after I read that, I was like, "You're right. They're terrible."
Do you know? I actually sort of semi-think we are getting orca reports from Mola Mola as well. So we got an orca report the other day. We had a few. So there's a pod of dolphins going through the bay, and then they thought they saw something black behind them, which could have been orcas. I mean, that's
Dolphin hunters.
Dolphin hunters, and but we also have humpbacks, so it could have been one of those. And then everybody had orca fever. They're all looking for orcas. So we're on our way back hoying. The swell's massive, and we go, and there's just this big thing flopping around, big black flopping over. And everyone's like, "There's an orca!" So they screech over to it.
Orcas don't actively flop.
Well, everyone, it just, I don't know. It was
When you're
flopping.
hyped, yeah.
Everyone's hyped. Orca fever. Get over to it, and it was just sat in one place like a dead thing. And we're like, "Oh, it's dead."
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
And then,
no.
I mean, it's port and starboard if it's a floppy one.
No one's gonna lose an ounce of sleep if they die. Let me tell you that.
No, flaccid little fucking Yeah.
Yeah.
Orca fins. Anyway, yeah, we get there. It's this absolutely huge mola sunfish just flopping around.
Sweet.
Yeah.
They are dope. We saw one breaching in June.
A mola.
Breaching. That's the second time I've seen a breaching mola. The first time was back in 2018, and it was 19, and it was in this massive, like, not kilometers, but like tens to hundreds of meters long of like a jellyfish bloom, which is like their favorite food. And this mola was just like leaping out of all the jellyfish. I'm like, that is a happy dance if I've ever seen a fish do one, because you're literally in an all-you-can-eat buffet of their version of garlic bread. Like, hello. Yeah, and then we had one, it was kind of like, think of a mola. Do you think it was a majestic breach or a pathetic breach?
Well, I'd go for like awkward and pathetic.
Yeah. I didn't see most of the first ones, but in June, this one was basically just like, beep.
Just flopping over.
Yep. No full aerials. It was great.
No, they're awkward. They're weird to look at as well.
They look like a kid smushed some things together with Play-Doh, bit one end off of it, and was like, I'm done.
Put it in the ocean.
Here you go, God. Pop her down.
Finished his workday early on that day.
Yeah, he just dropped it on the ground. I was like,
I don't know.
it'll land in the ocean. It'll be fine.
This one was a fuck up.
Yeah. Supposed to be a fish, dropped on land, got flattened.
Yeah.
It's like the ice cube under the fridge.
How did they get through evolution?
I don't know. Jellyfish. Who else eats massive amounts of jellyfish besides turtles? Which, like, their survival rate's terrible, so they're no help at all.
Yeah. That's very true, actually. Does anything else eat jellyfish? Anything else? I don't know.
I don't know. I've seen a white shark bite one and spit it out.
Yeah, I've seen them spit it out before. They don't like them.
No. Must be stingy. Turns out white sharks are pussies when it comes to spice.
They actually are. And they're super fussy anyway.
Yeah. Like white
even
people. We suck at spice.
Yeah.
Unless you're from the South.
True. That's very true. Yeah. Well, if you're English as well.
Yeah.
It's basically potatoes and meat.
Your food is not great, man.
So tell me about sharks then. Come on. So
What do you want to know?
Yeah. So you are now in Mossel Bay. You're head field specialist for oceans research.
Yes, sir. That's me.
And we're in the worst possible year for sharks.
It's kind of my track.
Great white sharks.
It's kind of my track record with white sharks in South Africa. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah.
So what's the next move for Lacey?
Next move for Lacey is to try. I'm not gonna go on record saying that one. Okay. Come back.
Yeah.
Next move is to try and come back sooner than I have in the stars at the moment. So I'll do it again. I've got a couple people I'd like to bring back as field specialists in mind. They know who they are. So that's like big step number one. And then I did my master's in Plet on the predator interactions of white sharks and seals there. And I feel like I have very unfinished business, thank you to COVID. Yeah. So now that I've actually had a season under my belt and finished my master's degree at the same time, don't recommend anybody do that. It's not a human, June and July. I want to start picking up other independent projects. I want to go back to Plet. I want to get reacquainted with the place because I think the ecology's already changed. The distribution of sharks and where they spend their time and seals, how much mobbing happens. I think it's like it's an ever-changing landscape now that more and more people are paying attention, whether or not it's changing or
it's always changed.
Or it's always been that way and we just have changed the way we've paid attention.
Yeah.
But I think it is changing.
You said something interesting at the beginning, actually. You said that sharks haven't always been there in False Bay. When did they start rocking up in False Bay?
I think somewhere between the 70s and the 90s, because what I remember learning way back in the day is that in the 70s, Seal Island was like pelicans. Fact check me on it. Definitely.
I know they used to catch huge white sharks off Durban in like the 20s.
Damn.
20s and 30s.
Off Durban? That's warm.
Yeah. They have, we have a book up at the dive shop, and it's, from the 1920s. But
they can go into tropical water, just I don't think they stay there, because about, like there's a time of year, it's like March or April, but you always get a report of a white shark or two passing through off the Florida coast through the Keys, and they've seen Big Blue off of Hawaii. So it's very possible.
Yeah, and everything's changing, so...
All the Benguela current's getting closer, the Agulhas is moving further away. Sharks are going to change what they do next. That's one of the things that I'm super fascinated to see is how things adapt and how things change over the next 5-10 years. Right.
Because they're going to have to, aren't they? And if they don't, then they're going to disappear. So it's one of those
Well, they always have since the beginning of time too. Ecology has no direction. Natural selection has no morality. We ascribe that to the way that we perceive nature.
Yeah.
But do you have the conditions or the genes in the conditions that favor you to survive and produce more offspring to better your chances of your survival? maybe, but then as soon as the environmental conditions change, there can be like a big cataclysmic change, whether or not it's on a planetary scale, or maybe you're a very endemic species in this one flower in a canopy in the rainforest, and that tree falls and you go to the ground. Do you have the genes that can survive that? Does everybody go extinct? We might think that's terrible, but like,
it is.
Is it? Because natural selection has no direction. Something else now can thrive in that spot that didn't before.
Yeah.
There'll be winners, there'll be losers.
That's it.
And it was it the Permian extinction where 97% of all life on planet Earth that we know of went extinct. 97% of all living life forms.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Everything that you've ever thought of. All your plants, all your fish, all your nudibranchs, all your birds, all your microbes, all your bacteria, all your diseases. Well, that's not technically an animal, but like fungi,
everything died.
archaea, 97%. Of course, the oceans got hammered the most, but like gone. Brachiopods, gone. Cephalopods, bye.
That's fucking mental, isn't it? And how long was that over?
Oh gosh, you're asking me to dig back into the archives. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
You mean like how long was the extinction event?
Yeah. Could be a similar event. Well,
in geologic time, quickly. In like our generational time,
probably
very
quite
slow.
Yeah.
Very slow.
But yeah, similar things happening now.
Yeah, we already have lost some species. They're like climate change related extinctions officially.
Yeah.
I know there was a rodent on an island in Australia.
Yeah.
From sea level rise.
Some kind of dog, some dingo.
A dingo? The dingo ate my baby.
No, the dingo. It's like a kind of wolfy dog kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing I saw on it.
Sounds like Balto.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Oh, Balto! That's what it's called.
Balto, yes!
Is that Disney film?
Well, it's the one that's like both live action and cartoon, but it's based off of a true story of the dogs in the Iditarod and then like scarlet fever and transporting medicine and shit. But apparently it wasn't just Balto. There was another dog, but Balto got all the credit.
Yeah, and it's in like the northern where the dog sledding.
Iditarod, yeah.
Yeah, that is Balto. Yeah, it is the right one I'm thinking of.
You've seen the cartoon, right?
Well, the funny thing
Gesundheit.
Yeah, the funny thing is, I've been trying to figure out what that film was called for such a long period of time. Never, couldn't remember for the life of me. I've been, Googling it, still couldn't find out, a search. And then you said Balto, then I was like, fuck, that was it.
I got a weird memory for very random shit in here. It's a potpourri of chaos.
That is a great potpourri of chaos. That is a lot of chaos.
That's going to be the title of my memoir. Potpourri of Chaos. Title of your sex tape. Thank you, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That actually is a good... We got to bring that in a lot more often. I'm going to regret that. I know I'm going to be the one who's opening yourself up to all that scrutiny.
What, Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
It's like... Have you seen the show?
Yeah, bits here and there.
Hilarious, but one of Andy Samberg's quips is to Amy's title of your sex tape, because she always says stuff that's hilarious, but it makes her sex life sound terrible. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, we should do that with our group of friends, and I'm like,
I shouldn't.
Who's gonna be the recipient of a lot of that? This gal. Title of your sex tape.
I think it should just be banded around equally.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, just send it. Whenever you
send it.
Send it. Just send it.
Just send it. Where did that phrase come from?
I think it was a snowboarding term on the internet once when a random thing came.
It was
and then it was just say, or was it an advert? I can't remember. But yeah, then everyone started saying, just send it.
Send it. It's a good one.
It's a great one. I just got to send it.
Just send it. Yeah.
A few years ago now, though.
Send it like a FedEx. Ask me to do it. Make it corny.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right, what else do you want to know about sharks? There's so many fun facts.
There is. Tell me something.
Okay, well, this is one of the coolest things. I think I told you guys this on the boat one time, but for the fans. One of my favorite things of all time that I've ever seen for sharky things was a video that I saw in class. And we were learning about ampullae of Lorenzini, which is the electrosensory system that sharks have, and rays, and platypus, which I just learned the plural of platypus in a TikTok video today. It was like platypods, I don't know. Somebody else can Google it. But basically, sharks have these jelly-filled pores around their snoots. If anybody can see those little black dots, they look like blackheads. And then they're actually a close-range sensory system, within centimeters. So if you think, sharks can detect electrical signals from afar, they have to be up there like a metal detector. Close. Yeah, so you're going to get the lateral line, you're going to get sound and smell at a distance, and then the closest range is your ampullae. Yeah. But the salt water is charged. It's salt, whatever, hydrogen ion. So it's going to be a very good conductor. Mm-hmm. And so when you move through the water, you can also give off like an electrical field signal. And so they were like, okay, well, sharks use this to detect prey, but could it also be in the role reversal? Because most shark species are mesopredators, so they're not at the top of the food chain. They're going to be eating somebody, but being eaten by somebody else. So there's got to be a lot of anti-predatory strategies. Every organism has that to survive. And so there's this video of a shark in an egg case, an embryo. And I don't know what you were doing besides kicking your mom when you were in an embryo, but I sure as shit wasn't doing anti-predatory activity. And you can see when they have, like on this video, you can find it on YouTube. It's like a university something. Yeah. But, and I forget which shark species, but there's only some that are oviparous. It's like Erectolobiforms, I think. But they have like, okay, it's off. The signal is off, and then they basically will turn on the frequency of signal that like a larger predator would emit, or like that frequency that the ampullae would detect. And you can see the shark in the egg case, it's buccal pumping, so it's basically when they breathe by themselves. You can see the gills pumping. Yeah. And then as soon as the signal goes on, it freezes. It stops moving for 8 seconds. And then it takes like one breath and it goes down. So its breathing rate slows down, but like it holds its breath for that long. And
so like, it knows there's something there.
It's
aware.
Fucking, whether or not it's like consciously aware or not, but it has not hatched yet.
It's still just.
It's feeding off a yolk.
And
that's ridiculous.
It's pretty mental, isn't it?
What are you doing in the womb?
Fucking playing.
Tapping?
Talk for yourself. I was doing Rubik's Cubes. I was all over the place.
Yeah, well, you really should have kept up with that, Mark, because the evidence is not there to support you. No.
Yep, definitely.
What happened? Yeah. Did you fall out head first? Actually, we're all supposed to be born that way, so.
Yeah, I think I just dropped as a baby a few times. But yeah,
explains a lot.
That is pretty mental, though. That is pretty insane.
It's fucking so cool. And then we had on Above, and this will be featured on the show as well, but.
That's right. You've been on a show this year for National Geographic. It is National Geographic.
You've heard of them. They've got the yellow square.
Yeah, that one. Yeah. Sorry, I'm in this town. I don't know. It could be Discovery.
It could be anything.
But yeah, Nat Geo.
But there was a Bruv video. It's very similar.
Yeah.
And we were chatting about it on the show, and like Neil, my advisor and teacher for that class, was like, I know exactly what you're gonna say, and referenced that same video I just told you about. But it's a Bruv clip from it was before my time. But there's a pajama cat shark that's like circling around the bait arm. You've seen this?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking cool.
I think so, yeah.
And then a white shark passes by, but it comes in and it like bites the bait crate, just like a little love nibble, actually more the metal than the bait crate. And the pajama cat shark, like if this is actually a really good example of like the bait crate, and then I'm the camera with the bait arm, and the pajama cat shark's here, and the white shark comes kind of and nibbles here and like swims out this way. Yeah. This PJ freezes.
Really?
Freezes still, and the only movement is when it's kind of like getting back and forth in the surge and back and forth. Like it is frozen also for like seconds long.
A prey response that you would see like on terrestrial land as well.
Yeah, it's a freeze response, and then if you think about it, kind of what we were like hypothesizing too, like it's under the bait crate, so it's not like the white shark's going to smell that necessarily because it's under a plume of bait already.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, the viz is pretty good in that video, and white sharks have a good viz, but they do have a blind spot in front of their face, so maybe it was in that blind spot, maybe not. They're not like super acute. They've got good vision, but like whether that was in their realm of seeing the PJ or not, who knows? But then. If it was close enough where the ampullae might actually
picked it
up. So that shark just freezes in plain sight. It's not camouflage unless you're like masking that other detection or sensory system. And you can see later, like another PJ comes in and is like swimming kind of in the distance after the white shark is fucked up, but this guy's still frozen.
I wonder do they have the flight response afterwards if it gets too close, or do they just freeze?
I mean, I reckon probably if they got super, super close, but like a white shark also in that range would have the advantage. Like they're fast.
Yeah, they're quicker.
Yeah, but the PJ's agile like a seal.
Yeah, but they're not super fast.
No.
PJs. They're pretty slow and laborious.
They're very wiggly.
Yeah.
Like mini nurse sharks, those demons.
Yeah, but PJs are just cute.
They're very cute. I want to get the PJ in a donut tattooed somewhere.
Oh, really?
On my body, yeah.
Have you seen Lee's designs?
No. Oh, like hers for the stickers?
Yeah.
For the shop. They're so good.
Yeah.
I didn't know she drew all that shit.
Does the PJ in a donut, and you should definitely get her too.
Donut?
Yeah. You should definitely go and hit her up for some design ideas.
I'm gonna give her a pen and be like, start drawing on my body, woman. Have at it on a blank canvas. Almost.
Anyway, Lacey.
Oh my God. Wait, I forgot. Before we round it out, Val wanted me to let you know that the next time she sees you, she's going to slap you in the face with a bloody tea bag.
Those vampire tea bags.
I'm proud of that one.
Anyway, Lacey, it's been a pleasure as always, and we'll definitely do this again.
Yes, we will. See you at the bottom.
See you at the bottom.